Alright, this is our app we created for Beat Making Labs. It is a beat making app, and the first thing you probably see when you open it up here is a drum machine right here, composed of a 4x4 grid of pads. Now, as you can see, each pad has an associated sound with it. And the basic premise of this is you can sample your sounds at first, but should you choose to, you can record the sounds. And right now we're actually snapping the sounds to the nearest beat. So when we do the playback, you can see the appropriate update of the user interface to show which sounds are being played back, and you can see that it's actually snapped to the nearest half beat. Also with this, we have the ability to edit our drum machine, where if we go back to this normal pattern, you can see that it has a particular sound in the upper right corner. But if we go to the edit drum machine, we're able to change the sound to something new. So, for instance, I can add a crash. And we can finish editing, and you can see that it updates, and it can update the name as well. For further updating, we can actually change this name. So we can add a new name. I'm going to call this new pad. Oops. And you can see that updated. Also fundamental to this is the ability to change the tempo. Right now it's at 120 beats per minute, but we can speed that up if we choose to maybe 150. And you can see that that's faster, or perhaps really slow, so maybe at 60. Also, we have the option to change the number of bars in our patterns. So maybe I want to change that from 4 to 2. And let's go ahead and change the tempo back. So you can see that before it loops, which that's another feature that we have, it actually plays 2 bars instead of 4, half the length that it was before. So now that you've seen all of this, we can go to the track screen, where we have a list of pattern buttons, where you can actually go to different patterns, and you can see the different colors represent the different patterns. So for instance, I could make a new pattern. When all of that's done, I'm able to add these patterns to a track at a specific time interval in bars, and we're able to play all of this. And so as you can see, it layers the patterns that we've created, and we can even add multiple patterns back to back. Lastly, an option that was actually included in the pattern screen was an option to change the metronome, which I should have mentioned earlier but didn't. And as you can see, it plays a note at every beat, so you can tell where you're at. And also, should we choose to, we can clear our pattern. So finally, in their tracks, we have an option to export the track to a specific file name. So let's call it test file. And it exports that to a location on the phone. And that's our app.